All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another breakdown, preview, and prediction video. This weekend, Lamont Roach Jr. taking on William Zepeda, which I think is a brilliant fight. A fight lots of people have slept on, all right? The hype hasn't been there for this fight, but this is an immaculate fight. It's a great fight card as well, not pay-per-view. We've got Raymond Morataya versus Robson Conceição as a co-main event, and this main event, William Zepeda versus Lamont Roach Jr. We're going to break it down. We're going to preview it, and at the very end of the video, I am going to give my prediction. But if you all could first, head down the bottom there, give the video a like, give it a subscribe as well. It does help the channel a massive amount, and let's get into it. Now, the first place I want to start with this breakdown is their last fights, because I think for both Lamont Roach Jr. and William Zepeda, they couldn't have asked for better opponents to prepare themselves for the challenges ahead this weekend. For William Zepeda, last time against Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson offering a very similar style to what Lamont Roach Jr. does. Very, very defensively sound and loves to counterpunch. For Lamont Roach Jr., his last time out was against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. High volume, high activity. Very similar to William Zepeda. But the big difference between their last fights is William Zepeda is going to be coming in this fight against Lamont Roach Jr. He has just been in there with the very, very best of the best. For me, right now, current champions, current fighters in general, Shakur Stevenson is the best at that fight style. He is the best defensive fighter. He is the best counter-punching fighter right now in the world. So stepping into a fight against Lamont Roach Jr., although very, very similar in style, is a drop-off from the level you have just faced. Whereas for Lamont Roach Jr., I think that Isaac Pitbull Cruz is worse at that style than what William Zepeda does. And I think William Zepeda also offers different challenges to what Isaac Pitbull Cruz does. I don't think William Zepeda is going to be faced with anything he hasn't already seen against Shakur Stevenson when he takes on Lamont Roach Jr., whereas Lamont Roach Jr. will be faced with different challenges when he takes a fight against William Zepeda than he did with Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, although a very, very good fighter, has got lower output, which we're going to run through. But here's the real kicker. For Lamont Roach Jr., when he steps into this ring against William Zepeda stands 5 inches taller than what Isaac Pitbull Cruz does, and he also has a reach advantage of 6 inches over what Pitbull Cruz does. That is a very, very different fighter to Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and on top of that, William Zepeda is a southpaw fighter, and southpaw fighters have caused Lamont Roach Jr. a lot of problems over the years. We're going to get into that. But I do want to run through some of the numbers and why I believe William Zepeda is a better output fighter than what Isaac Pitbull Cruz is. Now, if we compare their last 2 fights, Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda, Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach Jr. Isaac Pitbull Cruz landed 27 of 162 thrown jabs in his fight against Lamont Roach Jr. with 1 landing to the body. The power punches landed 132 of 382 thrown, with 74 landing to the body. This compared to William Zepeda's performance against Shakur Stevenson, who is a better defensive fighter than what Lamont Roach Jr. is. William Zepeda landed 119 of 478 thrown punches, with 36 landing to the body, so 35 punches more to the body through jabs, as well as power of 153 landed from 501 thrown, 74 landing to the body. So same amount of power punches landing to the body, but different amount of jabs landing to the body. But Zepeda out threw and out landed in both power punches and jabs compared to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Pitbull Cruz in there with a worse defensive fighter than what Shakur Stevenson is. And that just shows you by numbers how good William Zepeda is. And on top of that, if you go for career averages by CompuBox, William Zepeda leads, all right? He leads amongst all boxers in the world right now in average total punches thrown per round, in average amounts of jabs landed per round. He is also second in average amount of total punches landed per round, average amount of jabs thrown per round, and average amount of power punches thrown per round. If there is a person that you want to base high activity, high volume punching on, it is William Zepeda. He is by far the very best in the world right now at doing it. All right. Another one similar to this fight style, Brandon Figueroa. If we look at Brandon Figueroa, he averages a total punches thrown per round of 81.2. William Zepeda averages 92.2. There is no better fighter in the world at high output fighting. Now we look at Isaac Pitbull Cruz's fight against Lamont Roach Jr. Lamont Roach Jr. gets a draw out of that fight. Lamont Roach Jr. takes away the fight in the second half of the fight, Isaac Pitbull-Cruz capitalizes and wins a lot of the early rounds. For me, Isaac Pitbull-Cruz will tire in the second half of the fight. William Zepeda will not tire in the second half of this fight. So for Lamont Roach Jr., he will need to start quicker and nip some of the rounds, but he will be more prepared coming into this fight. I think he was a bit shell-shocked in that fight against Isaac Pitbull-Cruz. Hadn't really seen that style before and tried to fight that style where he should have tried to control the distance, use that jab early. And I think he will learn from that and, put that into action coming into this fight. So I don't think it'll be the same fight. But one thing that I've noticed about Lamont Roach Jr., all right, even if we look at some of his fights, if we look at some of his big fights, he drew against Southpaw Tank Davis in 2025. He lost to Southpaw Jamel Herring in 2019. That was for the WBO Super Featherweight title. He drew with Southpaw Orlando Cruz in 2018. Now, I'm not saying he can't beat Southpaws because, in fact, his last two wins were actually against Southpaws. That were being Feargal McCrory and Hector Luis Garcia. So, it's not his kryptonite, but he does have problems with it. And the reason I think he has problems with it is because he struggles to see that power left hand. Even in that fight with Isaac Pitbull-Cruz, it is that left hook that drops Lamont Roach Jr. And you could see it over and over and over again in Lamont Roach Jr.'s fights that he gets caught with left hands. It is a big problem for him. And you put that into action with the way William Zepeda fights, William Zepeda's high output, as well as the fact that he mixes up body shots and head shots, whereas Isaac Pitbull-Cruz doesn't do as much. So high volume from William Zepeda, mixing up head and body, mixing up levels, and throwing in those power punches from that southpaw stance, I think William Zepeda is going to cause Lamont Roach Jr. a whole heap of problems. Now, it's not all smooth sailing for William Zepeda. If we look at that fight against Shakur Stevenson, although he does have success early, actually hurts Shakur Stevenson with a right hand in about round 3, you could tell Shakur Stevenson's defense was causing William Zepeda a lot of problems because William Zepeda wasn't able to find the head of Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson's elite defense, as well as counterpunching, was able to pick off William Zepeda and lead to a good victory from Shakur Stevenson. And William Zepeda, high amounts of output, but also a lot of misses in that fight. He couldn't find the target in lots of times during that fight with Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson was able to control the distance with his defense and with his jab, stuff that Lamont Roach Jr. is able to do. You could see it in the second half of that fight against Isaac Pitbull-Cruz. So it's going to be a tough fight for both guys. But when you break it down, when you look at what these two guys do good and what they do bad, for me, William Zepeda should be the victor come this weekend against Lamont Roach Jr. For me, Lamont Roach Jr. is very, very good, but I think the fact that he struggled so much with Isaac Pitbull-Cruz, and I believe William Zepeda to be a more superior fighter in that style, as well as have those advantages in height and reach compared to Isaac Pitbull-Cruz. On top of that, a southpaw left hand that Lamont Roach Jr. will not see coming. I believe William Zepeda will win this fight. I would think William Zepeda will learn a lot from that experience with Shakur Stevenson, who is by far the best in the business at this style. And for Lamont Roach Jr., although he did a very, very good job against Tank Davis, and although he did a very good job against Isaac Pitbull-Cruz, he will not be able to handle the high amount of pressure and high amount of activity that will not stop from start to finish from William Zepeda. And therefore, my prediction in this fight is a William Zepeda win. I don't believe he stops Lamont Roach Jr., but I do believe he gets a unanimous decision victory over Lamont Roach Jr. I think this fight is such a good fight. I think it's so high level. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I tried to make the preview a little bit shorter than the one I did with Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence. Some people were complaining it was a little bit too long, so I wanted to compact it. I didn't think we needed to talk for that long. I believe that William Zepeda will get the victory this weekend. If you think Lamont Roach Jr. will win this weekend, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, this is such a tough fight. So difficult to pick who's going to win it. But for me, William Zepeda will do it. Like, subscribe. I'm out of here, guys. See ya.